Hello YouTube, my name is Nero. Today we have some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I'm just gonna come out and say it. The next Call of Duty game is going to be Call of Duty World War II, or at least it's going to be set in World War II. The name could change, it definitely could change, but everything is pointing towards this game being Call of Duty World War II. We have leaked images that have yet to be disproven, whereas all other leaks for other Call of Duty games were proven fake within hours. IGN, Eurogamer, and Shinobi602 have all said that their inside sources have confirmed it's going to be a World War II game. Activision themselves has said that they want to take the series back to its roots this year, and 4 of the first 5 Call of Duty games were set in World War II. It does not get more rooty than that. Mega Bloks has released a World War II era Call of Duty set. Control Freaks have also released a throwback set. Nobody at Sledgehammer Games has posted anything on social media since the COD World War II leak, with the exception of Michael Condrey, who posted this image, as well as responded to fellow YouTuber Prestigious Key, who was asking about his favorite 1940s era weapons, and he says, nice try. So it's gonna be COD World War II, guys. At first, I was super skeptical, as always, and we should be, right? When it comes to leaks and stuff like that, we should always be super skeptical, but so much stuff has backed this up that it's gonna be COD World War II. Industry insiders are saying, yes, it's going to be World War II. It may not be called COD World War II, but it's going to be a World War II game, which is awesome to me. I'm so excited about this, and if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to admit my mistake. Usually, I'm the guy who's trying to be sensible, says, hey guys, let's take a step back here, let's relax, let's wait until we get an actual word, actual confirmation, but we've waited long enough. I waited pretty much all today because it's a Tuesday, and typically releases and stuff like that happen on Tuesdays. In fact, most of the reveal trailers for Call of Duty games, like I think 5 of the past 6 or 5 of the past 7 or something like that, ended up coming on a Monday or a Tuesday. So I waited basically till the end of today to see if they were going to announce anything, but they haven't. But I'm still going to make this video regardless. It's going to be Call of Duty World War II, and I think it's time we all just accept the fact it's going to be a World War II game, and it's time to get excited for it. I wonder, did Sledgehammer really plan for this all along, right? Are they really that many steps ahead? Because if you think about the 3-year development cycle that Call of Duty has, that means that Sledgehammer had to have started pre-production on this game just after they launched Advanced Warfare, and it makes no sense to me for them to suddenly be, the people that want to bring us into the future and give us advanced combat and exosuits and wall running and everything else, right? And then also be the same studio that's like, yeah, we want to take you back to World War II now. I don't think that's an independent decision by Sledgehammer. I feel as though it was the plan all along by Activision, because if you think about it, we have 3 studios within the Call of Duty series, right? You have Sledgehammer, you have Infinity Ward, and you have Treyarch. What they did is they started off with Sledgehammer Games, who was of course the new studio, and they basically gave us 3 straight futuristic games where each studio could take their own crack at giving us a futuristic game, basically giving us new ideas, trying out new things like changing up kill streaks or customizing kill streaks like we saw in Advanced Warfare, or perhaps giving us specialists like we saw in Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and of course the black market, and changing up supply drops from Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3. Then of course all the things that they put in Infinite Warfare. You have all these things that they're trying to do, but maybe the entire idea the entire time was to eventually take us back to our roots anyway. They want to have a 3-year experimental cycle almost where they could really try out new things, because obviously one of the biggest complaints for Call of Duty from the perspective of a Call of Duty hater is that COD is the same game every year. Oh, Modern Warfare 2 and Infinite Warfare, same game basically. They're the same thing, when in reality the only similarities they have are the fact that you have guns and you shoot them, right? They're very different games, but still, maybe they took some of that feedback to heart, and they had made so many games using the old formula, going from COD 4 all the way up to Call of Duty Ghosts, that they decide, you know what, we're going to take 3 straight years here, we're going to try out new things, we're going to hopefully not kill off the series in the process, and we're going to take the series into the future a little bit. Because at the time, during the time when Advanced Warfare actually came out, that was the gaming space, right? Everything was going up into space, everything was taking us to the moon, everything was futuristic, or at least had a hint of science fiction to it, so Call of Duty tried to keep up with the times. But now they find themselves in a very odd situation, because they're definitely splitting up their community a lot more than I think they anticipated. So the original Call of Duty fans, people that played a long time ago, a lot of them have left the series because the series changed and became something that we did not sign up for, right? Obviously, when you look at Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare, they are nothing like what Call of Duty used to be back in, say, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and the original Black Ops. So COD 2017 is going to attempt to bring all those players back, back, and some of them have already been warmed up to the idea with, of course, Modern Warfare Remastered releasing a year before COD 2017, but now they also are running the risk of killing off their new player base, right? Because keep in mind, Call of Duty is still the best-selling game every single year, and there has still yet to be, I think, even one Call of Duty game that hasn't sold 20 million copies. So you have a bunch of fans that just started playing the Call of Duty series over the past couple of years. They like the advanced movement system, they like the idea of specialists, they like all the new features that this 3-year futuristic experiment has brought. So now they're running the risk of actually going ahead and killing off that player base in favor of trying to bring back their old player base. So Call of Duty is definitely in a very odd situation, and I definitely wonder what the future of the series is actually going to be. If I could try and make a couple of predictions here, obviously COD 2017 is going to be World War II. I do not feel as though COD 2018 is also going to be World War II. I feel as though it is going to be a post-World War II, pre-modern war, kind of like Vietnam, the Cold War, maybe even the Korean War. And the reason why is it just doesn't make sense for them to do 2 straight World War II games. Most games that are set in that era feature content from all fronts, right? You have weapons from various Allied and Axis forces. You have various maps that are based in locations all around the entire globe. You go from Stalingrad to Wake Island to Macon Atoll to Berlin to the French countryside to a Russian sulfur factory. Like, it takes you all over, right? And so if you have 2 straight games that are set in World War II, there's going to be some overlap there, which is going to feel a little bit off-putting, right? So in COD 2017, I'm just making predictions here, we're going to have a Stalingrad map in the multiplayer as well as a Stalingrad mission in the campaign. Well, then in COD 2018, it's going to be a little bit off-putting if we're going through the same area of Stalingrad, but it's going to look completely different and be set in a completely different context with completely different characters. I mean, obviously, World War II is a giant conflict, the biggest one in human history, so it's very easy to tell the same story, but from 2 different perspectives, but I don't see them actually doing that. That's what actually burned fans out back in the day was, you know, COD 1, COD 2, COD 3, and COD 5, of course, World at War, they were all World War II games, like all in a row, and they basically had a lot of overlap there. Like, there's only so many things they can actually show in this, so I don't see them actually doing that. So I think COD 2017 is going to be World War II. COD 2018, I have a feeling, is going to be Vietnam, Cold War, maybe Korean War, something pre-modern but post-World War II. And then you have, of course, Infinity Ward's next Call of Duty game. I have a feeling that they are going to do a futuristic game. I really do. I have a feeling that they are going to try to have a mix of classic and futuristic games. Because like I said, it makes no sense for Call of Duty or Activision or any of the studios to try to get rid of all the fans that they have picked up over the past couple of years. Now, obviously, they've lost a lot of fans, but they've also picked up a lot of new fans who may not be excited about a boots-on-the-ground, classic, old-school Call of Duty game. Perhaps they like the new school Call of Duty games. So I have to wonder what it's going to be like for those fans. Perhaps they'll try out the old style of Call of Duty and fall in love with it the way they did with the new style of Call of Duty. We're going to have to see. But regardless of what happens, ladies and gentlemen, it is definitely going to be a very interesting year for Call of Duty and perhaps the entire gaming landscape as a whole. Like I said, when Call of Duty started going into the futuristic scene, pretty much every game at the time was. Everything seemed to be trending towards the future, or at least science fiction. But now we may be entering a new age, or at least a new era of Call of Duty, where the series attempts to bring back everything that once made it great, and maybe the entire gaming space may be doing exactly that. We've already heard about Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out. That's obviously pretty awesome. It's basically GTA 5, but in the Old West. Now you have Call of Duty going back to World War II. It may be an entire new era of gaming, where instead of trying to be futuristic, maybe old is going to become the new. We're going to see how that plays out, ladies and gentlemen. But just as a fun question here at the very end of the video, I saw this on Reddit. I definitely want to get your guys' feedback on this because I loved reading the responses on Reddit. If in Call of Duty World War II, they decided to bring back 2 maps from Call of Duty World at War, which ones would you like to see? Let me know about that down there in the comment section below. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and vote for CeeLo as well as Dome. And the reason why CeeLo is my favorite map of all time, it's also the biggest map in World at War. And then you have Dome, which is a very fun map, but it's also the smallest map in World at War. It's even a nice little contrast there. So those are my 2 maps. I'd love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Drop me a rating, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.